Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Ken's Show and Tell. If you happen to have one of these, you might want to consider purchasing one or two of these. What are these, you may ask? Well, that's what this video is going to be about today. This might give you another hint as to what we're talking about. So if you haven't guessed yet, they're air scoops, and they would be especially useful for people that don't have air conditioning and they're W123s, and I suppose they would fit a W124, W126, maybe even a 116. I'm not quite sure. But what I have is a 1984 Mercedes-Benz 300 turbo diesel. Let me just show you how all this works. So here's the input and here's the output of this designed air scoop. I think it's quite ingenious in its simplicity. And so the idea is that you would take this scoop, one for the passenger, put it right here on this deflector, okay, push it in pretty good. Now, one criticism that I have, or at least a constructive criticism about this, is that you can see it looks like it's probably about what, maybe 1/4 of an inch right here left for it to seat. I don't want to jam it on my deflector and hurt it, but I think that if this opening was maybe another millimeter or two wider, this would fit down there really nicely. So let's put the other one in. Here's the driver's side. I'm going to put it right there. Yeah, put it right there. Okay. And then the idea is that you close the roof on it. Reach down here at your controls and close this roof. Okay. Now, first thing I look at is the gap here. Is this gap and this gap about the same? And yes, they are. And if you noticed, when it closed, it pushed everything up to where the scoop area up here is about horizontal to the car, to the airflow of the car, which is nice. But even with the pressure of this roof closing up on it, everything's in there good and tight, but this isn't pushed up further. So that's one recommendation I would make, is move this, have this opening a little wider so this can come in another 1/4 inch and fit nicely on this. And it would also make this roof close a little bit more too, which I think would be an improvement. Well, let's just kind of take this car out for a little drive and I can show you what this is about. Some cars, so let me be a little more cautious here. What I'm going to do is get it up to 40. We have a curve up here we have to negotiate, but let me get around this curve and I want you to hear the airflow at various speeds. So you heard it at 35. Get up here in a row where we can get it up to 50, 55 or so. Come up to an intersection here. I've got my driver's window open. Several hours this morning, and then this short little video that we just did now, and no bugs came through these things. That was nice, wasn't it? My wife liked it too. She was out earlier, and that's very important as well. So we're taking the car back home. There are a few additional thoughts I have about these air scoops, which I'll talk about when we get parked down here. Okay, what would I improve about these air scoops if I could, and if Mason could too? I understand the limitations of not making one completely across the top due to his 3D printer, but you know, given his computation skills and programming skills, and that he came up with this, I bet he could write the file or the programming or the code for it and farm it out rather than investing in the money that it costs to buy a bigger 3D printer. I have no idea what they cost, but they can't be cheap. So that would be one idea. Another idea would be to fabricate fill-in flaps between these gaps here to kind of close this up, cut down on the noise, and also cut down on the sun infiltration. Now you can wear a hat and all that, that certainly helps, but that would be another idea. It could be in pieces or one piece across, just depending on what technology he would have available. And again, enlarging this a little bit, because you can see how it, when it's clamped in there with the roof, you can see how it's fitting here. So maybe a little bit angled a little bit more, less of a right angle here and more of a slight degree angle, and a little bit larger here to let this thing sit and seat in here a little bit better. And you actually move it that much further forward without sacrificing any of your volume in here, and therefore not restricting airflow into the cabin. I think it's a wonderful idea. I think he stumbled upon something here that I think is going to be, and actually has become very popular amongst Mercedes-Benz drivers, especially those that don't have AC. Now, as I was saying earlier, I think those who have cars with air conditioning, like I do, having a pair of these would just increase the versatility of the car. And I just think that would be fun. But anyway, I think this is a wonderful product, and hope you visit, send him emails, our private messages on Facebook. Look at this product and seriously consider it.